Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 796. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, everyone?
All right. So I heard that they're getting a different composer on Rogue One. Want to give us some information about that?
Yeah, so Alexandre Desplat was originally going to be the composer, and I think he did some music for the movie. However, they're apparently getting a new composer named, I'm probably going to say his last name wrong, but his name is Michael Giacchino, I think.
Okay.
And from what I'm hearing, he is an excellent composer. And I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think the reason that they got him was because they're looking to have him be the new main composer for Star Wars after John Williams retires.
Now, John Williams is definitely doing 8, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think 8's going to be the last one he does.
Oh, so he's not doing 9. Okay.
He might. I don't think so, though.
Okay. And what has he done before, this guy?
I believe he's worked on Pixar movies. Yeah. He's the composer behind such films as Star Trek reboot, Pixar movies ranging from The Incredibles to
Star Trek. Okay.
Yeah, and he will be doing the score for Rogue One now.
I like the Star Trek reboot soundtrack.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. All right. So now he may just scrap the whole thing and redo it himself. We don't know yet, right?
I don't think they're going to get rid of the whole thing because I also believe that part of what's going on is because of the reshoots. From what I'm reading here, there might be some sort of scheduling issues with Desplat in them. So, in my opinion, I don't think this is anything to freak out about.
Okay.
However, I'm still in the camp of people saying, watch out for these reshoots. Because I definitely think that they're changing a lot more than people are thinking.
I mean, it's September.
Yeah.
The movie comes out in December.
I think they're done with the reshoots, or they're almost finished, however.
I mean, talk about, down to the wire. I'm a little worried about that. I don't know.
I'm
Listen, look what they did with the Suicide Squad stuff. I honestly think if they didn't interfere and they kept it dark, it probably would have been better.
It could have been.
I mean, they interfered because they were worried about Batman vs. Superman, and I think they screwed it up a little. I mean, I don't know, but, I mean, that's what I feel. But anyway, so Rogue One reshoots. Well, I guess we're going to have to see.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be good. I have a very bad feeling that even if the movie is good, right, I have a very bad feeling we're going to get the same reaction that Godzilla got, because people who didn't like the 2014 film, the main reason they usually cite was that Godzilla wasn't in enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, I loved it, but I was fine with it for that one. But if we have another Godzilla and he's hardly in it, then I'm going to have a problem with that.
Well, this is why I bring that up. Because I have a very funny feeling that Vader is not going to be in this movie as much as people think.
Then that's going to be a problem.
And I disagree, because this is not his movie. And he does not need to be in it as much as people think. I'm just worried that people are going to ignore it being a good movie just because Vader is not the main character.
So you know what the problem is? The problem is that, like, coming from, I can't speak for fans like me who grew up seeing everyone in the theater, but we were so starved of, like, Darth Vader, and when we heard that the prequels were coming, everybody had the notion that if not one movie, we were going to have, like, Darth Vader in, like, the second and third. Talking about Attack of the Clones, before we knew the title, and we thought we were going to have Darth Vader for, a movie or two, And then when we got him for, like, seconds, fans were pissed off, I got to say. So these fans still have that mentality that they want to see more Vader. It's not like Boba Fett. Boba Fett appears a couple of seconds. He's famous.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, we saw him in 3 freaking movies full, fans want to see him more, even though he's dead. This is an opportunity to see him in action. Like, they would be probably all for a Darth Vader 1, 2, and 3. I'm telling you, no exaggeration. There would be nothing wrong with it because it would make sense that he goes after all the Jedi, and they show him go after all the Jedi.
Yeah, they would. That would definitely make money, but I understand why Disney doesn't want to do it, though.
I mean, Boba Fett would not work as a movie.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
Because, you know, they tried to make Captain Phasma like Boba Fett, and that sucked. I mean, the other guy got more popular, the traitor guy with the thing, than her action figure. But they kind of forced it, you know, to try to make it like she's a big character, and nobody really liked her, I guess.
Well, I think she's going to be, though.
Yeah.
I definitely think that she's got something big coming in episode 8 and 9.
Now, that lady with the big eyes, with the glasses, she's not going to be in the next one?
She is going to be in the next one.
She is going to be, okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a screenshot of a scene being filmed with her.
Oh, because didn't they say something like the actress said she's not in it or something? Or
no, I think what's going on is they're putting her in the movie, but they have to find somebody else to do her voice and do the motion capture. I think because scheduling issues or something like that. They reported this on Collider that I believe, if I remember correctly, they said that Lupita Nyong'o would not be able to do some of the shots for Maz Kanata and the motion capture for her for 8.
Well, what is she doing, though?
I have no idea. But they said that if they can do pickup shots with her, they can get her back. So
what is she in, though? What is she in?
I have no idea.
Oh, I got to look her up.
I have no clue. She's not a small-time actress anymore, though.
She's a big actress and stuff.
Huge. Yeah, ever since 12 Years a Slave and then this,
okay.
her stock went through the roof. And I have to say, she was excellent in 12 Years a Slave. Her performance blew me away in that movie.
I didn't even see that. All right.
You gotta see it, man.
All right.
It's a hell of a movie.
We just saw earlier today Conjuring 2. Oh my God! Like, we had that in our head like the whole day. It's like, it was a good movie though, horror movie. But oh my God, we were freaked out by that movie a little bit. But yeah, wow. So I'll watch it. 12 Years a Slave. Okay. What other stuff I know we haven't done an Everything show for a while. I heard Tom Cruise. They finally came to an agreement with his pay. I don't know what that.
Yeah, for Mission Impossible 6 or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know if he got more or less, right?
I'm not surprised. I don't think that was something he was going to turn down.
Yeah. I mean, what else is he going to do? I mean,
well, I got to tell you,
well,
since the last 2 movies, it's gone through the roof, like even more. Like the last 2 movies have made huge amounts of money.
Yeah. I don't think there has been any failures, right, with Mission Impossible?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think so. So we got that news, and then what other stuff happened? It was...
well, I mean, I guess sticking with... I know we kind of got off of that for a second, but sticking with the Star Wars stuff, there was 2 things that I wanted to say. Next week, Rebels starts up again.
Oh.
And we know that, of course, this season sometime, Tom Baker is voicing a character.
Yes.
He's voicing a Force-sensitive being that is neither a Jedi nor a Sith. He's like kind of in between, and we know that Kanan goes to talk to him. So that's... It's
not going to be like Snoke or anything, right?
No.
Okay.
No, we already know what the character looks like and stuff. He's not human. He's not even human-like. He's like a giant... Think of the rock biter from Neverending Story.
Yes.
He kind of looks like that. Not a rock.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to say was I finished Bloodline, which is the novel that takes place in one of the novels that takes place in between 6 and 7.
Okay.
And this one takes place a couple of years before episode 7. Fantastic stuff. If you're a fan of Star Wars, you got to read this because.
What's the thing with Luke's hands in a jar?
No.
That's nothing.
No, this is one of the new canon novels.
Okay.
In this book, without giving too much away, it tells you how the Resistance comes about, It tells you how the First Order somewhat starts out. It tells you how the entire galaxy finds out that Luke and Leia are Vader's children. It tells you, it definitely confirms that Ben Solo was training with Luke.
Yeah.
Definitely. It also tells you what Han's been doing in between now and then. It's any questions that we've had other than like who is Snoke and who Rey is related to. It kind of answers in this book. It's like, here you go. This is what you're looking for.
So basically, if I could ask a question, the Rebel Alliance became the Resistance.
No.
No.
The Rebel Alliance kind of got melded into the New Republic.
Okay.
And then the New Republic started to face some of the problems that the Old Republic started facing, with factions developing in the Senate. And one of these factions started to realize that, hey, the Empire wasn't so bad. There was order when the Empire was around.
Oh shit!
But what both sides agree on is Palpatine was the worst. We could never have somebody like him again. Even the faction that believes that the Empire was good, they even say Palpatine was just a tyrant. We could never have a leader like him again. But we could have the structure of the Empire and still have order in the galaxy. So it's really interesting to see. And that faction starts to develop the First Order.
But where the hell did Snoke come out of the picture? I mean, that he's the leader of the Empire. Well, I'm sorry, the First Order, whatever.
Yeah. Well, this is the interesting thing. I'm reading the Darth Plagueis novel now.
Okay.
Which is another very, very unbelievable read. It's not canon.
Okay.
But I'm reading it because Darth Plagueis is canon. So,
right.
You know. The next thing I'm possibly going to read, I'm either going to read the Darth Revan novel because I believe he's going to be coming back into canon. And but before that, I'm going to read Star Wars Aftermath Life Debt, which is a canon novel. And in that novel, they start to describe what Palpatine was doing while the Empire was around. And apparently he's looking for something. He was looking for something very important. And the interesting thing is he found it on Jakku.
Okay.
Where Rey was. So whatever that thing is, I have a funny feeling it's related to Snoke.
So they're gonna have to go back to Jakku?
Absolutely. Oh. I don't think it's an accident that Rey was on Jakku, because we know that the very last battle that the Empire ever fought was over Jakku, and they were outright defeated there, and that was the end of the Empire.
What do you mean the last battle?
The very last battle that the Empire, when it was still the Empire, not the First Order.
Not talking about the movie like Return of the Jedi with Endor and all that.
That wasn't the last battle.
Okay.
But that was one of the last battles. But the very last battle where basically the people in charge of the Empire were like, we've got to just go in with everything and hope that we win, was over Jakku.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
And that's why in The Force Awakens, there are all those Star Destroyers.
Okay.
Crashing out, because the very last battle was over Jakku. So that's what the next Aftermath, I think it's going to be the last Aftermath book. I think it's called Star Wars Aftermath Empire's Fall.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out next year. And then that kind of tells us how the Empire was destroyed. I also think that's where Ben Solo turns to the dark side.
On Jakku?
I can't say for sure, but well, I can't say that because he wouldn't have been born yet.
Well,
so, yeah, never mind.
So now, they're never going to go back to Tatooine, right?
Tatooine or Dantooine?
Tatooine.
Tatooine. I don't know. I don't really think there's a reason for them to go back.
Okay.
Jakku is going to be, I think, the planet that they go back to, because again, that character I told you about, Gallius Rax,
mm-hmm.
Palpatine, when he first met him, or one of the first times he met him, he told him, I'm sending you back to Jakku. There's something there that we found that I've been looking for. And he says specifically, I'm going to send droids. They're going to start excavating. They're going to build something, and then we're going to bury it. Your job is to make sure that this all happens.
And that's Snoke, probably.
I think Gallius has something to do with Snoke. Yeah.
And he was around, I guess, Snoke while the Empire was around, I guess, right? Or something like that.
That's what he says, yeah. In the book, he tells Kylo Ren, I saw the Empire rise and fall, and I know why the Empire fell, because of sentiment, because Vader turned on Palpatine. So Snoke
But how did freaking Kylo Ren get his grandfather's helmet like that? I mean, how?
I don't know. I don't know if they've revealed that in canon already. I have an idea that either Snoke told him where it was or he gave it to him. Because we find out how Ben Solo finds out that Vader is his grandfather in Bloodline.
Okay.
And it's not in a good way. That's kind of what I think sets him on the path to, like, how could you not tell me?
But does he talk to Vader? Really or no? Like,
I don't think he's actually talking to Vader, because
he's just crazy.
I don't think there's a Vader to talk to.
No, I mean, Anakin is the spirit, not a split spirit. I mean, like, so they rumored.
Well, he was supposed to be in this movie. In this movie, half of his face was like Vader's face.
But that would have been stupid.
I think that's why they didn't put it in.
Like, you saw him as a ghost. He was perfectly fine. Yeah. Unless they did something about the dark side connected with Vader.
Well, this is interesting too, because there's a character in the non-canon stuff who I really do think is going to be brought back into canon soon. His name is Darth Revan, and when he died, his soul, he had turned to the dark side and came back to the light. His soul split into two different beings. One was dark and one was light. So if they bring him back into canon, that's something they could do. Another thing with his character is that his mind was wiped at one point.
Reverend?
Yeah. So they could say, hey, we did the same thing to Rey, or something like that.
So who's Rey supposed to be? They're not going to do that reincarnation thing.
I doubt it, because that got such a negative response online.
I don't like that at all.
I tell you, I got to tell you, really, I think she's just going to be a new character.
I don't think so.
I do. I'm telling you, I think that what's going to happen is she's going to wind up being the child of somebody that Luke met, or something like that.
So she's not connected to Han Solo and Princess Leia at all?
I doubt it.
I mean, there was such a weird thing that she just embraced her. Like, she knew her through the Force.
Well, JJ explained why he did that. I mean,
he should have hugged. Chewbacca and her should have hugged.
Boy, he said that he messed up.
They should have just did. I mean, come on. They should have filmed something with that. Throw it in there.
Yeah, they should have. But to me, it's not, they could kind of do that, because I think they're planning to show a funeral for Solo in the next movie.
Yeah, they'll probably show Chewbacca with her.
Yeah.
Despite, because they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for who Rey is, I've kind of stopped thinking about it, because really we're not going to get it. I'm honestly more interested in finding out who Snoke is.
Aren't they? It was supposed to be finished filming it, but now they're filming something else for episode 8. Or no?
I think they're close to. I mean, anything they're doing now, I think might be pickup shots or reshoots, which is normal.
Okay.
But I really don't know. I know that there's. I think they're filming something in Scotland. I think you're right. I think they're filming something on that island, because they said that there's a very peculiar. Someone got a very peculiar shot of them filming, and it looked like a whole bunch of figures in like black robes.
The Knights of Ren?
That's what they're saying. It might be the Knights of Ren. I'm hoping that's what it is.
How much time passes from when she goes to see Luke? I mean, doesn't, like, Kylo Ren have to train? Doesn't he have to heal? I mean, wasn't it not that long after when...
honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do a time jump between 7 and 8. I don't know if they're going... Because we got a confirmed scene from 8 that shows Luke on the island with her.
Yeah.
Right after 7. So what they could do is maybe they show that, and then there's a little bit of a time jump. Maybe Ren says, I don't want to get trained yet. Let me get the knights, and we'll go find them. I don't know.
But that would be that would be a reversal of when Luke didn't want to finish his training to go after Darth Vader.
Right, yeah.
So in other words, by him not completing his training, he's more susceptible to being on the light side.
Well, I think that's where he's heading down, honestly, regardless of whether he gets trained or not. I really do think that he's going to wind up turning to the light again or something.
But if he turns on Snoke, right, and he kills Snoke, isn't that like a direct copy off of, like, Jedi? With Vader?
Yes, and that's what I don't think...
I don't think people... as it is, we had a Death Star and a Star Killer base, and that kind of, like, ticked people off a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, a lot, kind of. I mean...
I don't think it tipped them off a lot because the movie still did well. And
but I mean, we want to see it. Just we don't want a reboot,
right,
of Empire.
No, I don't think that Ren is going to be the one to kill Snoke. I honestly, and I've said this.
They should just let Snoke live, like do something where he just gets away or something.
Well, they could do something like that, but honestly, I think at the end of all this, I think it's going to be Rey and Ben that kill Snoke. I think something's going to happen where they have to work together to kill Snoke. Because
if they kill Snoke, aren't they going down the dark side? Well, isn't Rey going down the dark side if she strikes down Snoke? Because the Emperor wanted Luke to strike him down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. I think it all depends on whether or not Snoke wants Rey as an apprentice or something. I don't know. There are ways that they could do it that she could kill him without turning evil.
And that's another thing. I mean, I'm kind of confused about if Snoke isn't a Sith.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is that?
He could be. There's a number of different things he could be.
So,
not every dark side user is a Sith.
All right.
There are like dark Jedi.
And there's other Jedi that are not Jedi. They're trained by other type of things or something, or.
There are other Force-sensitive beings that don't consider themselves Jedi. Like, take Ahsoka, for example. She's not a Jedi, but she's not a Sith either.
Okay.
The thing that Tom Baker is voicing, that's not a Jedi or a Sith. He's a Force-sensitive being. There's, what were they called? There was the father, the son, and the daughter, who were way, way more powerful than any character we've ever seen before. And they weren't Jedi or Sith. They were just heavily connected with the Force, which is an interesting thing. That's a theory that's going around right now, is that Snoke is somehow related to one of those characters, which would make sense because if he's supposed to,
like he's father and she's daughter or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Snoke is father, she's the daughter.
Or Snoke is the son, because in canon, the son was the embodiment of the dark side. Not the embodiment. He was heavily connected to the dark side. And they did a side-by-side shot, and they kind of look like each other. But I don't think that's where they're going with this, because that would assume that people watch Clone Wars.
Okay.
I think Snoke is a new character. I think he's just going to be... I don't think that him and Rey are going to be characters that we know or related to characters that we know. I think one of them is going to be related to a character that we know, so that we get that jaw drop moment.
So Finn might be related to somebody?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
I mean, he's not going to be like...
People are still thinking that he's Force sensitive too, which I don't.
I think there's a possibility he may be a late bloomer or something.
He could be. I mean, I'm not saying that I'd be mad if he was. I just don't.
Yeah, I have a feeling he'll be definitely with the Force.
Yeah.
Because I don't see it not being that way for some reason. I mean,
to be honest, I think there's a better chance of Poe Dameron being Force sensitive, because in the canon comic books, Luke met Poe's mother, and he gave her this tree that is connected to the Force. Its life is connected to the Force. And Luke took one, and he gave the other to Poe Dameron's mother, and she planted it outside of their home. So apparently, Poe has been around this tree his whole life.
Wouldn't he be able to resist then, Kylo Ren, when he was torturing him?
He would if he knew he was Force sensitive.
Oh, okay.
Rey, not knowing she's Force... I mean,
that's kind of weird how
Rey's been trained already, but
she had her mind wiped and then it was just come back to her naturally or something?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, if she hasn't been trained, they have to do something to explain why she's so strong.
Yeah, I think she's been trained. She just don't remember.
I mean, I don't necessarily consider everything she did in the movie to be really that advanced, but I don't know. You know, who knows?
I mean, it took Luke a while before he got the lightsaber to move.
Right, yeah.
So she got it, you know.
I want to know how Maz got that lightsaber.
Yeah.
I've got to find out.
I think they'll tell us.
I hope they will.
You don't think they're going to have anything like with Harrison Ford having a flashback or anything like that, right? Like in this movie or...
Oh, I think we might. I think we might see Ben or Kylo Ren remembering something from the past.
So when he turned, and it probably was, I guess he was away from his mother for like 3 or 4 years, right? Maybe
he was away from Leia for a long time.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is what I didn't know. In Bloodline, when I saw The Force Awakens, I thought that Han and Leia had been having issues in their relationship, and then they sent Ben away. You know? In the book, they explain that Han and Leia were having a great time, and they still sent him away.
They sent him away what?
They wanted him to train with Luke.
Okay.
Because he's like, I guess he's just really strong in the Force.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Hey, Luke. What was that?
That makes sense, though.
Oh, yeah, it does, yeah.
See, I never believed that Han and Leia were separated for like 20, 30 years.
No, I didn't think they were that
I thought they were there together until a couple of years or something.
Yeah, well, they say that Ben turning is what really split them up.
Yeah. So, but then he lost the Millennium Falcon, which is weird.
I don't think he lost it. I have a funny feeling he left it there for her.
Oh, yeah?
I don't have any evidence to support this, but this is my thing. It's Han Solo.
Right.
How the hell did he lose the Millennium Falcon?
He lied, probably.
Yeah.
Well, you don't tell the truth. Yeah.
As soon as he said, "Who stole it from me?" I was like, I don't know, Han.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so they just left it there. Okay. Because it's kind of a little too convenient that the first person to stumble upon the Millennium Falcon is Han Solo. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Really?
If he had that tracking beacon, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then who left? Why would Unkar Plot, the guy that Rey was with on Jakku, why would he want to take in a child?
Yeah, that's weird.
I think what happened was whoever brought her there was like, listen, you take her, I'll give you the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but he worked for the First Order, though, didn't he?
Well, he knew that the First Order wanted BB-8.
Okay.
I don't think he worked for them specifically, because later on there was supposed to be a scene where he showed up in Maz Kanata's castle, and he was like, the Millennium Falcon's mine, and then like Chewie beats the hell out of him.
Oh.
I think that's still in the book, actually.
Okay.
I think he tears one of his arms off or something like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. I guess I gotta get the books, huh?
Well, the Force Awakens novel it's canon. They said whatever is in this book technically happened, even if it didn't happen in the movie. And one thing I didn't know is Snoke explains to Kylo Ren why he took him as an apprentice. And he tells him, you're basically so powerful with the dark and the light, you're the perfect apprentice for me to have. I didn't know that.
Did he have any apprentices before?
He probably did.
But it isn't. The Sith is always two. There are master and apprentice. But if you're not a Sith, you could have many, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's not.
Sith, in non-canon, before the rule was set up, there was a whole Sith empire.
Right.
Yeah. But Bane got rid of that. Darth Bane got rid of that.
Right.
Darth Bane is
too.
Yeah.
So they could always have factions of the Sith that just don't want to deal with that. Like, just have as many as you want.
Well, we also know that after the Empire fell, there was this group called the Acolytes of the Beyond, who worshipped Darth Vader.
Oh.
So I think that somehow Snoke found them and was like, "Hey, you guys worship Darth Vader?
Yeah, the Knights are run.
My apprentice."
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, damn."
Right.
Because you notice in that clip where Kylo Ren has that, or not Kylo Ren, Rey has that Force vision. Ren is the only one of the Knights of Ren who has a lightsaber activated.
Right.
I think he's the only one who has a lightsaber. I don't know. I don't have any evidence for that, but that's just the way I interpreted that.
Very interesting. All right. So we're not going to see any Force ghost of Yoda or Ben Kenobi or any of that, right?
Oh, I think we are.
Oh.
I think definitely we are.
And if there's a Force ghost of Yoda and Ben Kenobi, can't there be a Force ghost of the Emperor?
No.
No.
The Emperor, I don't think he... Well, yes, there could be, but I don't think there's going to be because I don't think the Emperor ever learned how to do that.
Well, we've only seen Force ghosts of the good people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily... Well, Anakin...
In Clone Wars, there was a Force ghost of Darth Bane. And he talked to Yoda. That, again, that assumes...
But how does that work? If they're on this... I mean, they're talking to each other, but they're dead?
Well, yeah.
Like, Yoda's dead and Bane's dead, but they talk to each other, but they can't...
No. Clone Wars takes place during episodes 2 and 3.
Okay, so
Yoda's still alive.
So Yoda's talking to Darth Bane, but they can't interact. But what could Darth Bane possibly tell Yoda?
Well, that was the thing. When Yoda went to Moraband, which is the homeworld of the Sith, it used to be Korriban, but they changed the name. He went there looking for information about Cypher Diaz, who, remember in episode 2, they were like, oh, he put in the order for the clones. Yoda went looking for Cypher Diaz or information about him there, and he stumbled upon Darth Bane's tomb. And Darth Bane was like, oh, have you come here to become my new apprentice? And Yoda was like, no, I'm just looking for information. And he's like, well, you must have come here knowing who I am, because I've created a legacy that's lasted throughout the generations. And Yoda says, yeah, I know. You created the rule of 2, yada, yada, yada. And then when he said, no, I don't want to be your apprentice, and Bane says, oh, so you don't fear me. And Yoda said, no, you're not alive anymore. Bane faded away. So it could technically happen.
So technically a dead, like, Sith Lord could train somebody that's alive?
I don't know if they can in canon anymore, but yeah, that happened in non-canon stuff.
That's weird.
Because they have this ability that lets them, like, implement their essence into an object. There's also an ability called essence transfer that's not canon anymore for now, but it allowed a Sith to take over another body. Palpatine did that. Remember with the whole clones thing that he did?
Yeah.
He used essence transfer to transfer himself to the clones.
But that was in the comics. That wasn't canon anymore.
Yeah, those aren't canon anymore.
Because I remember the comic books in Dark Horse.
Yeah.
He was cloning himself or whatever.
Yeah. He would do this thing called essence transfer that would transfer his body, or not his body, his soul to another being.
But he kept having to do it because the dark side of the Force used up the body, I guess, like a bat.
Yeah.
Right? Like the clones would be, he would go through them like clothing. But if he was in a regular body, it wouldn't be as much.
Yeah, because his normal body was...
Like the clones are not perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they always say that whole, oh, you can't clone a Jedi or a Sith kind of thing.
Right. Gotcha.
I guess now they would say that's because of the midichlorians, I guess. But speaking of that, you don't want to go on too much longer, but there was something interesting. Like I said, I'm reading the Darth Plagueis novel now, right?
Right.
And that was written before Disney bought Star Wars, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yes.
In that book, they clearly state a line that I thought was very interesting. They were like, it was Darth Plagueis like monologuing to himself, and he says, there's a huge misconception that midichlorians equal force sensitivity. And he says that's not true at all. And I was like, that's funny. I'm surprised that George Lucas or whoever okayed this book allowed them to say something like that.
But the book came out after Phantom Menace, correct?
It came out after episodes 1, 2, and 3, I believe.
Right. And they realized how stupid that was.
Right, yeah.
So he said, listen, just wipe it out, basically. And that's what he did.
Basically, in the book, it says that not just force-sensitive beings have midichlorians, I believe.
Right, they're trying to use it as a way to measure.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do, like, the whole thing, Qui-Gon is like a symbiote, like the venom inside.
Right.
That's just a stupid explanation, probably.
Right.
It's just not really, that's just, don't pay attention to that. It's just like, you have extra iron in your blood. So that's how we're going to test you to see, or you're anemic. It's like they're trying to test us. So that's just probably, I never liked that at all. That was the worst.
In the book, he's like, yes, these organelles respond to the force, but
that's nonsense.
They don't equal one being force sensitive.
Right.
So I was like, that's pretty cool, actually.
That is very cool. Now, if they could reshoot Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and boot out Jar Jar and all the other mistakes that they had, then
I think it's telling, and it goes to the point you just made before. It's very telling that they never mentioned midichlorians after episode 1.
J.J. Abrams flat out said that was never going to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Never. In fact, not for nothing, if there was a way they could do Phantom Menace without Jar Jar, that's one, right? Get him out of it. The whole thing, right? And then the second one, just change the whole second and third. Like the second's Darth Vader and Darth Vader the third one. Because, or make the Revenge of the Sith be the second one and then have another full one with Darth Vader. That would have been fantastic. But I hated Attack of the Clones. I got to tell you. Yeah. I really, with a passion. All that flashy CGI, nah. I wasn't feeling that garbage. You know what did I ask you? What were we talking? I watched Force Awakens the other day again. Yeah. Rubio never got a golden arm again.
At the end, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, not what I was watching. He still had the red arm.
But watch it again. He's got a gold arm at the end.
At the end. He had a red arm. Really?
I watched it a couple of days ago because I was watching the Collider.
I mean, I own it too. I should just pop it in. Yeah.
I was watching the Collider commentary, and one of the guys on there he stops the scene. He's like, "See?" And they're like, "Oh shit, he's got a gold arm."
I did last time I watched it because I've been watching it all the time. Didn't notice it. All right. I'm going to have to pop it in the DVD.
Do you have the Blu-ray or the DVD?
DVD. Is it in the Blu-ray?
That might be why. I don't know if they changed it. I'm not sure. I don't think they did, though.
I'm going to look it up on YouTube.
Look it up again. It might just be the lighting. Maybe
I know people are going to go crazy, but I don't have a Blu-ray.
Well, I don't have one either.
Right? The kids got the PlayStation, so that was the Blu-rays. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to type it on YouTube and watch that. Cool. All right. So before we go, you want to do another cast, or you want to talk about more stuff on here?
We can keep going on here if you want.
All right. So what's going on with Shin Gojira now? Shin Gojira is going to have a release for a week?
Yeah, from the 11th to the 18th of October.
I got to say I'm not happy about it, and I'll tell you why. None of the theaters that are near me has it. So if I go see it, I have to go out of my way, which is really annoying, I got to tell you. Why is it so little theaters having it?
Uh,
Why can't they just flat out release it full for like a week or two? I don't understand. Like, what's coming out now that is going to interfere with anything?
well, this is the thing. I think the reason that they're not releasing it in a huge release is because, A, it's going to be subtitled. They're not dubbing this. B, they have flashbacks of what happened with Godzilla 2.
Oh, they're not. Wait a minute. They're not dubbing it?
Not for this release, no. It's got
Ever?
subs. It's got English. Oh, no. They will eventually.
Okay.
But that's going to be for like the DVD Blu-ray release.
All right.
This movie, I believe, from what I'm hearing, and I'm pretty sure I've read this like in 17 different articles practically.
Okay.
This is going to have English subtitles.
All right. That makes sense then. Why they do.
And one of the characters in the movie speaks English. She speaks English, so.
Which they have subtitles for them to understand what the hell she said.
Well, she speaks, pretty well.
I'm saying for them, released over in Japan, they don't know what she's saying, so they have a whole thing. Yeah.
I know that people were making fun of the way she spoke because she has a very heavy like accent, but I was like, the actress had to actually learn English to get this part.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
But that's one. The other thing, like I was saying before, is I think they're having flashbacks about what happened with Godzilla 2000.
I see.
And that did not do well over here at all.
Right.
It was bashed pretty badly. I remember going to see that in the theater. I love Godzilla 2000.
Oh, but, I like Orca.
Yeah.
Or is that how you would say it, Orca?
Orca.
They never even said his name. I don't think.
Well, that's because in the English dub, the whole reason for his name was taken out.
Oh.
In the Japanese version, they label the substance in Godzilla's cells that helps him regenerate. They called it Organizer G1.
Okay.
So the beginning, Orga, was taken for Orga, right?
Right.
In the English dub, they called it Regenerator G1.
Mm.
So, no Orga.
Yeah. It's cool in the video game too. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got to tell you though, I don't think this movie is going to do well over here. I think that it's going to have a big spike at the beginning because, hey, new Godzilla movie.
Right.
But for the people who don't know what they're going into,
yeah,
the first time they see him come on land with the big eyes and his gills spraying red jello everywhere, they're going to be like, I don't remember Godzilla ever doing that. And then when I got to tell you, the thing that is, I'm probably going to burst out laughing is when his tail starts shooting lasers.
Oh.
I'm going to laugh.
I got to tell you, when they do crazy things with the characters like that, we love the originals, and all the movies that has been out up until this movie. So if we don't like this movie, it's okay because we liked every single Godzilla movie there is. I mean, I like every Alien movie except for Alien 3 and 4. That doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Alien.
All right.
I mean, I just, I'm scared. I gotta tell you, I'm scared.
Well, yeah, I mean, to comment on what you just said, I don't understand this mentality of people that are like, if you like this movie, you're not a Godzilla fan, or if you don't like this movie.
You know what it is, and I don't want to be negative, but there's a lot of stupid people out there that they don't know how to measure intelligence, and they're like, you like this movie, you're the stupidest person on earth. Or like they'll make everything, if you like a movie or you don't like a movie, if your line of thinking ain't theirs, they'll rip you apart. So again, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I mean, I have every single effing Godzilla movie there is, and I only don't have it on DVD because I have it on VHS. But 1985, but that's it.
Which is available now, by the way.
Well, then I'm gonna go buy it in Barnes and Noble this week, then, because definitely it just came out.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to get mine in the mail tomorrow, or for like FedEx or something.
I'll have it Monday, then, because I'll go there Monday. There's a mosquito in here. Get out of here. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll have it Monday then. Thank you for telling me that. What else did I want to talk about? There is a lot of stuff we haven't talked about too.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right? Walking into this movie, let's say that like we didn't talk about it, or like you told me don't spoil anything for me. I want to go see it, right?
Right.
And I was like, okay, I respect that. You go see the movie and you see all the crazy, like the back lasers.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, I would literally blow my effing top.
Yeah.
I would lose my shit. I probably would scream in the theater, what the, basically. Okay? I might even throw something. Because I'm telling you, all right, I'll give you another example.
Yeah.
It's like what they're doing in the comic now with Hydra Cap. He's purely evil. He's going to kill people. He's going to be this. He's going to be a scumbag. And I'm like, they just put up the damn statue. Civil War was still out. What the fuck are you doing, basically? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lost my shit, literally, when they did that. I went to war with that. I was friggin' fighting the whole Marvel enchilada there. Any friggin' Marvel person that was like talking shit that this was great, even Stan Lee that he said was okay, I'm like, bullshit, because he would never go against Marvel. That's his payday. I don't fucking believe it, okay?
Yeah.
I lost my shit, okay? And I got to tell you, too, it doesn't mean I'm a racist or anything, that I believe that Captain America is for truth, justice, the American way, honor, and, he's a soldier, whatever. When they did that, I'm like, bullshit. And I also got to say, too, not for nothing, the homecoming stuff, the shit that we got, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Flash Thompson is supposed to be a bully. I'm sorry. He's supposed to bully Peter Parker. He's supposed to be bigger than Peter Parker. He's not supposed to be smaller than Peter Parker before Peter Parker got big, where Peter Parker could kick his ass before he got the spider powers. A skinny mini, no, he's supposed to be on the fucking football team, okay? It doesn't matter if he's black, white, alien, friggin' animal. He's supposed to be a football player that's a bully, that, you learn life lessons through Spider-Man there with the bully crap, okay? He can't be his best friend, and he can't be smaller than Peter Parker. But that's what we're getting. We're also getting the Hobgoblin is not the Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin looks like the Kingpin, and he's like Asian. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then Mary Jane, that's not Mary Jane. It's a different character. Okay? And again, I don't get, listen, honestly, I've been having a problem with certain things lately from Mr. Spider Guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but no, Peter Parker is white Caucasian. He's heterosexual. Mary Jane is different too. It has nothing to do. Why do you gotta put people on a wheel and then put another thing with nationalities and spin it and say, okay, Liz Allen is black and Mary Jane is black and Hobgoblin is Chinese? What is the problem here? Like, why are we changing things? Why don't we, if you want to make it interesting, create new characters to interact with the old characters? Zendaya could be a different character for Peter Parker, because it's kind of getting boring. Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane. Betty Bryant, whatever. I mean, Gloria Grant. Let's do it. Like something, And I got to tell you now, the comic is like whatever too now. I don't know. But we'll see.
Yeah, there's a version of me that just wishes that I hadn't told you anything, and then you saw the movie and came on here and you were like, Chris, what?
First of all, I would have found out. I literally would say, what the fuck? I'm like,
listen, I gotta tell you that the night that I found out about that stuff, I was waiting for a live stream from the Facebook group that I'm a part of, right? And they have a YouTube channel. And when I heard people saying, he's got 3 forms and tail laser. I was like, oh, this is fake. Someone got a fake script, like the Judas script that came out. You remember that? And then that one person was like, no, really? Here's the picture. I was like, oh no. And then I went on that live stream, and the host of the live stream got on there, and he was like, oh boy.
Dude, you know what it was like? It was like I'm reading a Spider-Man comic, right?
Yeah.
And there's this thing in the universe, there's this thing in the Marvel universe called it's a stupid thing. It's called the Captain Universe powers, right?
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah.
So I'm reading this fucking thing, and I see that he's about to get zapped with it. He got zapped with it halfway. So all of a sudden, then when he got it fully, he's shooting fucking heat vision from his eyes. He's fucking flying. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm like, why is Spider-Man flying? They try to be cool doing this fucking thing. And then, of course, I'm like, no, Captain Universe, what the fuck? You know, oh, God. And then it was even cooler when he lost his powers. That was even better because he had to fight the whole Sinister Six without powers. Oh, can't take it.
I remember that night, too. I messaged you, and I was like, you remember the tadpole
story? You showed me that thing walking at them. It was like, and I'm like,
I was like, hey, you remember the tadpole story?
And you showed him hanging on like chickens. And I'm like, with no legs, like, this is his hands. I'm like, what is that? What is that?
I'm sorry. The thing that really set me over the top was when people were like, oh, and by the way, there's things in his tail. It's like, what do you mean there are things in his tail?
What do you mean shooting laser beams from his tail, his ass, his back, his neck? Why is his tail growling? Why does his tail open up? Why are creatures coming out of his tail? Why is it humans? What are you I couldn't even believe what we were talking about. I'm like, please tell me that this is a joke.
I was hoping. I was hoping that this was the greatest troll job ever.
God, that would have been
I would have come on here and been like,
I would have been like, thank you, because thank God Shin Godzilla was not that. But everything's flashy with them. Everything's like, Godzilla shooting laser beams all over. It's like, that's not cool for me.
I love that trailer when the lasers come out of his back and he's like wiggling around trying to aim them. I'm sitting there like, what is going on?
Oh, I do like the American trailer though.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And then, like, you know, the recent one they put out, I like that. But you know, it look when they go dun, 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 and they show him, it looks so fake.
Yeah.
He's all wearing. It's like, oh, come on. They're all serious. In fact, it's so ridiculous. They have him in all poses that they ordinarily not do. Like, they zoom the camera in a person's face, and it's like, and then, like, you know, they have, like, you know, they're looking down at this one. They're doing all these different poses to try to capture some nuance thing. Like they're trying to do something different with the original concept, and they're like, you know, they get some guy get mad, like, whatever, and then they have the idiot sliding down, like, a stairway, like, it's a subway, whatever, and everything. I was like, what is this trailer? I like the trailer anyway, though, but it's just, I'm afraid. I'm going to be like, this generation does not know how to do Godzilla movies.
I'm telling you, if there's going to be a bunch of people that in, like, Godzilla 2, they're going to be like, well, why doesn't he just use his tail laser? And I'm going to flip out.
It makes sense, because look what they did with Spider-Man. He was like a Shogun warrior or something, like a transformer.
Yeah.
It's just, no, he's not, but yeah, he is over there. It's like the lions from, like, Voltron. What are you talking about? God.
I was so hyped, too. I was like, oh, purple atomic breath? That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's...
And then I was like, why is his jaw splitting open like the Predator? Like, what the hell?
What was that? There was another movie that was like that, where the mouth was coming open like that. Was it Species?
Yeah.
One or two? So.
It was the male version. His mouth didn't connect.
Wait a minute. Was it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Yes, there was 4 Species movies. I have.
2.
The mouth. Yeah, it was a weird one, right?
It was 2. Yeah.
It was like that could have been a different movie, not Species. And it was like, or it could have been a Venom movie or something. It's like, mouth came out like that. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that's exactly. I'm like, oh.
Like, I just don't. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the purpose of these? Of like, if you want to change something, it needs to have a point.
Can't they make it that aliens with the sunglasses came back and they like Godzilla was on different realities or something, and they planted this thing, and this creature that's becoming different things is actually different monsters, but in the same thing, and Godzilla's one, and then there's all these other creatures trying to like get out. Could they explain it that way, where, okay, here's the real Godzilla, and here's Mothra, and because the Mothra's the tail, and whatever, or something?
Well, yeah. I mean, how cool would it have been if this wasn't really Godzilla? It was like something that was like trying to take his form.
Right, like if aliens just had a DNA dish,
something
and
like
they dumped it on Earth, and it was like DNA from all the monsters, and it's not really the thing, and then you find out that Godzilla really was around, and Mothra was, and for some reason people don't remember.
Well, I got to tell you, like the changes. I got to say this: if this was a different monster, this would be friggin' great.
But see, this is the same thing, like the American Godzilla.
Yeah,
if it was called Monster versus New York, right? Just like something stupid like that, right? It would have been the greatest thing. Because nobody would complain about it, because that's not Godzilla, whatever, right? So any title, it would have been perfect. But because they called it Godzilla, people lost their shit. But then they're a bunch of hypocrites because they don't want Godzilla to be changed, yet they completely changed him the same way on their own version on Shin Gojira.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Could you imagine if let's switch the roles, right? What if somehow Toho put out the legendary Godzilla movie, but Legendary put out Shin Gojira?
Oh, the people.
Could you imagine?
What's this shit? Yeah.
They would have, if an American or any other company would have changed Godzilla like this, people would have lost their mind.
You thought people lost it with Ghostbusters? People would have lost their shit all over the internet. It would have been like, America has no respect for Godzilla franchise. In fact, I bet you if you changed some graphics and tried to make a fake story that Shin Gojira is really ours, people would make whole articles about it, flipping out.
That was someone brought. I didn't come up with that point. Someone brought up that point because when they looked at everybody saying, "Oh, this is great. It's new. It makes it fresh," and they're like, They're like, you wouldn't be saying this if the American one was like this. They would have flipped out.
Oh, flipped out.
I would have flipped out too, because I would have been like, wait a minute, that doesn't work. But I think it's kind of weird that they're like, oh.
The door, hold on, Chris.
Yep, take your time.
What do you mean the door was rattling? What? Right? No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I swear.
Oh, relax. That's the last time you watched The Conjuring 2. Last time. She said the door was shaking and everything moving by itself. And
it's the Toho fans. They're coming to get you.
It's like, I can't. Well, I don't got my glasses on. I can't see. We saw The Conjuring.
Yeah.
2. You see it?
No, I saw the first one though.
Okay, here's the thing. It would freak you the F out.
Yeah.
The friggin' nun. Evil nun. I don't know if you saw that trailer.
No, I didn't.
All right, well, you like horror movies?
Oh, yeah.
You like stuff like that, right? You watch it or not really? All right. Freak you the F out, this movie, with certain things, right?
Really?
What really freaks us out is that it's a true story and that the tape that they have, they play after it's over. And it freaks you out. Okay? So she's telling me that the door was moving now. And by itself, which whatever. But that's another thing too, though, freaks you out because they said if you see that movie, for some weird reason, things could happen because they actually play a tape of the real thing. So they just said, see it at your own risk. Whatever. All right.
Okay, I'm going to put that on my list of things to never watch. Right under the tape from The Ring. There we go.
Yeah. I saw the trailer, by the way, for that.
Oh, for Rings? Yeah.
Rings? Yeah, no, she definitely won't watch that now. Isn't that
That doesn't
ridiculous?
look too bad.
Isn't
Ring.
that ridiculous though? That the creature from the Ring decided to like mass produce and get out there like marketing strategy where everybody's watching her at the same time.
That's brilliant. Samara's got a brilliant marketing mind.
Dude,
do you want to know what's crazy?
what?
I read a synopsis of what happens in The Grudge versus The Ring.
Okay.
I have to see this movie.
Well, no, isn't it that they purposely got them together to save themselves?
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, fuck this. This one's going to kill me. So let me now go to this mother and let them eat each other, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But they probably die anyway, though, the people. Right?
Yes. But it's what happens at the end of this movie. I have to see this movie.
All right. So don't tell me. Don't tell me.
You can probably guess what happens, though.
They make out or something? What? Like they,
No.
What happens?
They combine.
It's one thing?
Yes.
What is it?
It's basically the Grudge girl with, like, Samara's clothes. And now, if you go into the house or watch the video, she can kill you either way.
So if you go to that particular house.
Yeah, like the Grudge. You go into the Grudge house. Or you watch the video.
So now they can never do a Grudge sequel or Ring sequel. They can only do a combined sequel.
Well, I don't think this is canon. I think it's supposed to be like Freddy versus Jason or something like that.
Okay.
But I was like, I have to see what happens here.
Shit.
So
now what's the boy? The boy is the Grudge, right?
Well, he's part of it.
He's part of the Grudge.
Yeah, he gets quote unquote killed at the beginning of the Samara drags him into the television.
Right.
And then like at the end, her and the other one fight, and then she shows back up, and at the end, he shows up again.
Oh. So now they're merged. All three?
Well, two of them are. The boy isn't.
The boy isn't. He's just whatever he is. Okay. Wow.
I was like, why? Because it's not called The Ring versus The Grudge over there. It's called
Ahsoka versus whatever, right?
Like Sadako versus Kayako. I think the combined thing is called Sakayako or something like that.
Okay.
Or Sakayo, I think.
So they're never going to be an American version of that?
If there is, it'd be hilarious.
Wow. That's sick. So why should she get freaked out now about this? Okay. All right. I didn't hear the door. Well, I got this on. I didn't hear the door like shaking like that and turning, the door not turning.
Mm.
I have to sit with the lights on. Oh, man. So
Listen,
anyway.
Yeah. Words you need to live by. When in doubt, get the hell out.
Right. Well, that's the thing. We this wasn't smart, but we saw Conjuring, and then I went to the Wake right after. So, yeah. I had to go to the Wake, but I didn't realize the timing was going to be so close. So we went to a Wake after, yeah. But she's freaked out right now. Okay. So, what else? There's a lot more stuff to talk about too, but I don't know. How you doing otherwise? You doing good?
Yeah, hanging in there.
Busy, right? School and stuff?
Yeah, school, working now.
All right.
It's all good, though.
Have you been watching Fear the Walking Dead?
No, actually, I haven't, no.
Okay. That's all over the place, just to let you know.
Really?
They had they had one episode was like the best episode they ever had, and then they lost it, like the next one after that. Totally fast. I mean, in fact, when you do watch it, let me know, because there's stuff in there we have to talk about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They pulled some shit in there that changes the whole Walking Dead dynamic and rules of turning and shit like that. And
really?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Well, if you want to talk about it, I don't mind being spoiled.
I went on the chat thing because here's the thing: they started out this one episode where this is when they show a flashback when the thing just started, and this guy, the groom and the bride, just celebrating in like wherever this place is over, in New Mexico, wherever that is, right? And these people who run the hotel, they live there too. It's been generations upon generations that they always live there and they work there. So the father of the bride is sick, okay, coughing, whatever, and they heard about the virus. And they want to get the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's like, "Don't worry about everything. It's fine. You'll be safe in the hotel, whatever." Right. So all of a sudden, the father collapses. All right. Now, I'm not saying because I'm in the medical field, like I noticed, whatever, but you can't die the moment you collapsed like that. And the lady's trying to give him compressions, like just one, two, whatever. He falls on the ground. There's all stuff going on in the background. The lady decides to lock everybody in there. She's like, fuck this. Fuck these people. I'm locked. Because what happens is the guy dies in a second. There's like one compression, two, and all of a sudden he becomes a walker instantly.
What the hell?
Before he can even die, which I was like, what in the fuck is this, right? And then and he bites the face off, right, of the bride. Now, there's one effing walker, and there's like 200 people in this room with this one walker now, right? How the hell could this one guy turn the whole entire wedding party?
He does that?
One walker turns the whole party into walkers. So, because that's what happens eventually, which, not for nothing, strength in numbers, right? Everybody grabs an arm and leg, you sustain, you tie them up, whatever, right? Common sense, just 200 people there, dude. 200. It's not believable, right? So, and you're not supposed to turn that fast. So there was this big Walking Dead thing, and I said it on there, and then I knew somebody was going to say something. Somebody said, well, Shane turned right away. No, okay? Rick killed him.
Yeah.
He laid there for a little while, talking to Carl, and then he got up. After he was dead, all right? For like a couple of minutes, okay? This guy didn't even have a chance to die, right? Because not for nothing, everything we've seen, right? It's a couple of minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like 6 minutes or whatever at least, right? 6 minutes. You don't just turn. Some people it takes longer. Some people, like the guy that left them at the tree in the season 1, who's days or something, and they just left him there, remember?
Yeah.
But some people turn, but it takes minutes. These fucking people fucked the whole thing up, and then they did that. And I'm like, this is bullshit. So I was like, no, that's not the case. Whatever. So now that was Matrixlord, Fury Matrixlord, pissed off at Fear the Walking Dead #1, right? Same fucking episode. You're not gonna believe what they did.
Oh boy.
The girl Alicia, she's in the hotel. She took a shower. The other girl went off. Whatever. Like walkers are all over the hotel because the mother was drunk downstairs with strands. They're playing the fucking piano. The fucking walkers are falling down. Idiots, right?
Yeah.
So she's running from the walker, right? They're chasing her. And she goes into the elevator shaft and she's holding on to the rope, right? What's supposed to happen with the walkers coming after her? They're supposed to go right into her, right? Jump at her, whatever, right? Because when Daryl fell with Carol in the car, they just fall. They don't know to, oh my God, grab the ledge, right? They just fall.
Yeah.
Off the roof, just fall. They don't have the intelligence like, oh shit, I don't want to fall.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think they have?
Don't tell me they're grabbing onto
these 2 fucking actors that are walkers, and they fucking hold on to the wall. And they're like, what? Yeah. I was like, you stupid motherfucker. What the fuck? Like, and I'm like, no, you can't grab. And then all of a sudden, then they fall in. They're like, But Why are you doing this? What? They can't swim, okay? They just fall. So if you're going to have an actor that's afraid to fall down an elevator shaft, then don't cast that person. Because they're not supposed to grab anything.
That has to be deliberate. They have to have told them, grab onto the wall.
But why the fuck would you do that?
I don't know. Because if they did something in the scene usually that they didn't want to do and they didn't think they could use it, they would have redone the scene.
Now, let me tell you something. They've been fucking up because the subtitles went white. We couldn't even see it that time.
Oh, that was terrible.
They're fucking up Fear the Walking Dead. I'm telling you. They're doing shit in there. They don't fucking realize it. Now they're saying this fucking, now there's this guy. You hear this guy? This guy Alejandro, right? He got bit by a walker and didn't fucking turn.
What?
So he's got this thing, and he's now the fucking leader of this community. They have communities too. He's the leader of this fucking thing. He's like, I was a sign of God. I was bitten. I didn't turn. Follow me, and I'm with God, and all this shit. And fucking Nick's there, and they're like, ah! And I'm like, you lying motherfucker. No way, right?
Yeah, he has to be lying.
So wait a minute. There's only one thing that could explain that. And it was a joke made by me on our real walking cast. What did I say?
What, was it the fake teeth thing?
False teeth. Remember I said that shit? I said, what if a walker with false teeth bites you? You wouldn't turn because it's not his teeth, right? Now, I bet you they do that shit. I'm telling you right now, that's the only answer.
Let me tell you something. If they do that, they should do like a royalty check.
I want a royalty check for that. That's some. Then people are watching Matrixlord, and I put my name on the thing at least. If you don't want to give me money, I want credit for that shit. That was ingenious, even though I was joking around. Ingenious. So that's been. They just ruined. I can go on, but they totally screwed up. This other episode, you were supposed to like have what happened to the mother, Madison, and Strand, right? And they were trapped behind the bar, and they're like that, right? Then you had a whole episode. They didn't show any of that shit. And you just had, they're okay. So then they went back, and this episode last, and believe me when I tell you this should have been a whole episode long, they screwed up the whole timetable. Because while they're trapped in there, a whole day passed for Alicia, right? And she met up with these people, whatever. They did it in seconds, which it doesn't line up, the time. So they totally screwed it up, by the way. So that you could tell that the Walking Dead people are not working on Fear the Walking Dead.
This sounds a bit strange.
They're fucking shit up, totally. Totally. They don't know how the walkers are supposed to act. I mean, you know, they show them falling off the building. Well, then why are they grabbing onto an elevator shaft?
That sounds hilarious.
And you could see, like, the actors are, like, trying to be walkers, but actually a little petrified. They don't want to fucking fall. Yeah. I have to pause it because I bet you they replaced those two actors that was afraid of some shit. And they got somebody that looked like him or something. Or something happened because that was just ridiculous. You don't grab onto the fucking thing like that. Oh boy. What else could we talk about? There's been so much shit going on too. We got Class. They have well we'll talk on the real movies, but I'll tell you now. Moffat got some hate stuff. Because John Barrowman made a statement that somebody with an ego or something is preventing the new Torchwood.
Oh, I read that, yeah.
So he flipped out because people were blaming him. And he's like, I have nothing to do with it. So it makes you wonder that maybe Captain Jack is really Russell D. Davis's character and not Moffat's character. Even though it was Moffat's episode, you know? I'm wondering. But he said it's not me. And he was pissed about it. So, I don't know. That was
interesting.
But then, is it Russell T. Davis? Because who else would have the power to say no?
BBC.
I don't know. So, and then you got Class, which the Doctor definitely appears in the first episode.
When is that starting?
A couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to see the Doctor appear in it, but it's going to be like a rated R thing with teenagers and whatever. Doctor Who universe. It's going to be weird. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. But
I just hope that it's good.
They had the teacher with the laser gun. It's like she looked like she had the same weapon that Captain Jack had, the sonic blaster. So I don't know. That's about it. We'll see. What else is there to talk about too? Suicide Squad. It's over $700 million.
Yeah.
But is it considered a success?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I would guess, but
I mean, didn't they say 750 to 8 to break even?
that's what I remember us talking about. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's getting a sequel, I guess. I think. Harley Quinn. What's her name? Margot Robbie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's executive producer for the Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah. I heard about that.
So, but now I'm hearing some weird stuff about Jared Leto. Like, he's not in Justice League at all. Like,
No, I don't think so.
I mean, is he going to be in anything? Because it looks to me like they're cutting him loose.
I know he was angry about what happened with Suicide Squad. I didn't think he was going to be in Justice League because I don't think they need him, honestly. I know that Gordon is there. There was a picture today of him on top of the Gotham City Police Department with the bat signal.
Right.
I know that they revealed Deathstroke for the Batman movie.
Yes.
And I know that they're pushing forward with Man of Steel 2.
Yes. That's definite, too.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Now, is J.J. Abrams doing Man of Steel 2? Because that's a rumor.
I don't think so.
No?
I wouldn't be mad if he did.
I would be happy if he did it, actually. So now Zack Snyder's influence is getting thin now, huh?
Yeah, it is, yeah. There was something else DC related. Oh, the Batman suit, the new suit.
Yeah. It's like Iron Man?
No, it looks like the Batman, like a regular Batman suit, just with,
Okay.
I'm sorry, not techno, tactical suit. His
Right.
tactical suit, yeah.
Okay.
What the hell am I thinking of?
Oh, by the way, I pulled up well, you want to finish? And then we'll talk.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
I pulled up Mission Impossible box office, right? So Mission Impossible, the first one, had a budget of $80 million. And it made $457 million,
There you go.
worldwide, okay? So I could see that that's a success, right? The second one looks like it'd be a success, too, because they had a budget of $125 million and made $546 million, okay? So that's a success. I think what the thing they got worried about was with 3, because 3, they had a $150 million budget, and they made only $134 million domestically, but when everything was said and done worldwide, they had $397. So that's close to, I mean, it's a little bit profitable.
That was 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that before. I thought 3 might have been a little.
It did. I mean, it was, lesser. It was the lessest. It made the less movie of the whole series. Ghost Protocol, the fourth one, had a budget of $145 million. They made almost $700 million worldwide.
Yeah,
So
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $694. And then the last one, Rogue Nation, had a budget of $150 million. It did $682 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So again, there was that one movie that had a little scare in their step, so to speak. So I'm glad that they're doing, more of that. So, what about all the horror movies lately? Doing really well. The Don't Breathe. That was great. That may be getting a sequel. Lights Out is already getting a sequel. Conjuring, they're going to have a Conjuring 3. They're going to make a spin-off of The Nun. They're going to have Annabelle 2 trailer broke yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see yet. So that looks like a successful franchise. And they're bringing Saw back.
Yeah, and then Blair Witch.
Blair Witch, yeah, Sharon won't see Blair Witch. I'm going to have to wait until see with the kids. That I don't know how that did. Because I guess the first night it did 600,000 or something?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that was just the first Thursday. I think it was Thursday night. Let me just see. me see where it will. Let's see. Okay, Blair Witch. I don't have. Oh, I have in 4,067,000. The budget was 5 million. So I guess this is coming from Friday's numbers. No, this is coming from Thursday's numbers. No, Friday's numbers. Friday. All right, so one day. So it make back its budget and everything in like 2 days. That'll be done. I mean, those movies, you don't have a big budget anyway. You know? So, all right. So for all subscribers out there, fans, people who watch our podcast, we can no longer do it on the Google Hangouts. It is definitely done. I've tried everything. I don't really want to waste more time trying to figure out the live streaming business. So for now, we are doing it on the Zoom. I tried that other thing today, the Google Duo.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to work. That's just for the phones. So that's out. So if anybody has any suggestions on a better format to do a podcast or a backup format, please leave it in the comments below. For now, we will be doing the Zoom. And I do know that some people have a problem with the Zoom. They can't do it, and I do apologize. I will try to accommodate people. I will try to get the best different multiple options so we don't just have one option, you know. But we'll see how it goes. And they did have a glitch, YouTube, where for that first day they wouldn't let anybody monetize anything. And I could not monetize my video, and it took the monetization off every single video I ever had for that 1 24-hour period. So I don't know. Hopefully that's fixed. And that's it for now. So thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.